I'm Bonnie from Calgary Child's Play. I'm Program Development Supervisor, and today I'm going to share with you how to make peppermint creams. This is part of our first Playworker challenge, and I'm excited to say that some sites have let me know that the children are excited to make these. So, to start, you need 1 egg white. To crack the egg and get the egg white only, usually I just separate it into a different bowl and make sure I don't get any of the egg yolk into the white part. And I just do that by flipping that like that. And then I'm going to put the egg white into my bowl that I'm going to use to whip up the egg white, and I'll just leave that separately. So all we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to whip this up. You can have the children do this. You want it to be as fluffy as possible when you're doing it. So it's 1 egg white beaten up. Now, I got the recipe from Dee and Julia from Activity Village UK. However, when I made it, it said 1 cup of icing sugar, but we actually needed 3 cups by the time we were done. So I'm going to measure out 1 cup of icing sugar into here. Okay, and you'll need some on the table anyway, so if it spills. And you can have the children do this as well. They like measuring. Okay, I got 1 cup there. I have a 2 cup measure here. So I'm just going to put all my icing sugar into there to begin with. Okay, we'll need some more maybe. Make sure we've got about 2 cups. I'll whip this up. I'm going to gradually just add the icing sugar. Okay, and keep mixing, mixing. Actually, you can have the children do this as well. They can take turns. Just mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix, mix. You can decide what color you're making. Jim, if you could zoom in. I made some orange ones for Halloween, which I thought were really pretty. If you were doing it this is at Christmas, say for a present for grandparents or parents, you could do red and green. You don't necessarily have to make them flat. You can make them round shapes, or you could make them Easter egg shapes, whatever you want to do. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. So I'm just going to keep beating this, adding my icing sugar until we get a stiff kind of paste. Okay, I don't think it would work if you added all the icing sugar at once, but I don't know. You could try it. So as you can see, it's starting to get thicker. It says to use a wooden spoon, but I don't think most sites have a wooden spoon, so I don't think it really matters. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And it'll become smooth, and you'll just keep beating, mixing it up. Make sure you get it off the sides. When I made it the first time and discovered that the recipe didn't have an icing sugar in it, was very runny, so that would not work. Okay, we wouldn't be able to do anything with it. So beating this up. So again, it's 3 cups of icing sugar, 1 egg white beaten. We're going to use a few drops of peppermint and some food coloring.
And don't put all the icing sugar in.
And I'm not going to
save some for.
Yeah, I'm going to save some icing sugar for putting on the table maybe. As you can see, it's starting to get thicker. We want it to be quite thick. So you may have to play around with the amount of icing sugar that you add in.
Depends on the egg.
Depends on the egg. And it says 1 large egg white or 2 small egg whites. Now, I think the eggs that Tara and Jane got the sites were large eggs, so I think you're okay with 1 egg. People always have concerns about eggs not being refrigerated, but they don't need to be refrigerated, so you don't have to worry about that. And if you have any questions, you can call me or email me, and I hopefully will be able to give you some answers. So we're getting there with this. As you can see, it's getting quite Oh, so maybe we don't need 3 cups. Maybe we just need 2 cups. So I will send out an email to all the sites as well, just letting them know. I'm thinking we're going to just need 2 cups of icing sugar. But we'll see. So once I have it all mixed up, it says to add the food coloring, put some icing sugar on the table or on your work surface and add the food coloring. However, I think I'm just going to add mine to the bowl so I don't get it all over everything. So I'm going to just add a couple drops of the food coloring. I'm just going to have try for an orange again for Halloween because I want to. And I'll just mix this up so I don't get it as much food coloring on my hand, or the kids don't, when they make it, get as much food coloring on their hands. Now, when you add liquid, you might need to add a little bit more of icing sugar. Okay. And don't forget, yeah, it's getting pretty stiff now. Don't forget to add the peppermint. And the peppermint is to taste, so it's usually 2 or 3 drops. When I made these ones and Julie and Dee tasted them, they said they were perfect. This might be very strong. And I will add a little bit more icing sugar to this. So, and just make sure it's well mixed. The children can certainly take turns doing this. It's not, you know, Playworkers will supervise it, but the children, it is the children's activity. So, once I have the peppermint mixed in, get your arm work out. Then I'm just going to make sure it's, yeah, it's good now. Just going to put it on the table, kind of knead it till it's smooth, and I'm not going to do the whole thing. I want to be here all day. You're just going to knead it till it's smooth and the kids can handle it. And then what you do with it, it's kind of up to you or up to them. You could flatten it and cut it, although it's fun for the kids to actually roll it. So you can roll it in balls and set it on a piece of wax paper to dry. When I did it earlier, when I made these ones, I need a little more icing sugar, I think. I actually took a couple hours for it to dry. Halfway through, I turned them over, just so the bottom would dry as well. So, then if you want to, you could take a fork, flatten them out. Okay. And that's basically how do you make peppermint creams. They're great. They would be a great gift for grandparents for Christmas, or for your site teachers or parents or the kids to eat. And I hope you have fun making them and enjoy the process.
Okay,
and we're done.